Hello friends, welcome to Dots of Destiny. Om Namah Shivaya. Today I'm talking about the Mars and Saturn big conjunction that is going to happen from the mid of March, and also a little bit of the monthly horoscope of March. Now, these two planets are gearing up for a clash. Very big planets with very distinct results they'll be prepared to give us. Now, March month will start from 1st to 10th of March. We'll see Aquarius Leo axis becoming very prominent because Venus will make a move in the first 5 6 I think 5th or 6th of March. It will make a move into Aquarius and it will meet Saturn over there. Venus is a nice energy in Aquarius. It is the original 11th house, the house of Saturn, the Mool Trikon of Saturn. Venus is welcome there, but obviously certain aspects of Venus will be curbed by Saturn, definitely, though they are friends, but Saturn has its own nature. We cannot deny that. Now, this will be the first 10 days of March. Then as Venus moves close to Saturn, then Mars will be entering the sign on the 16th of April of Aquarius. As Mars is already transiting in the sign of Capricorn, it's a March with exalted Mars in the horoscope. It's a dignified Mars. Now Mars will enter into Aquarius, the sign, the second sign of Saturn, with also Venus being there. So it's a planetary war literally between Mars, Saturn and Venus. So very interesting thing happening in the Leo Aquarius axis. Now then Venus will cross over Saturn and move past Saturn, and then after 31st of March it will go into its exaltation. So Venus is in a really happy mood, meeting there over Rahu, because Rahu inflates the energy of Venus in Pisces. But over here the war between Mars and Saturn will be continuing. It's a very interesting war because it's a literal tug of war that will be happening from going ahead, moving to backwards, moving one step forward. So this is our Saturn Mars. It's a mega clash that is happening, and it happens every 2 years. Very interesting. Every time it happens, though it's sometimes difficult, but with a lot of effort we go through it and then we achieve what is required to be achieved. So let's begin with this transit that is happening for next really the 2 months that are coming up, because a lot of transits, lot of things, as Aquarius is having Saturn and Pisces is having Rahu. So Mars will first encounter Saturn, then it will encounter Rahu in Pisces. Very effective months ahead of us. I'll say, whether it's March month, April, May, all gearing up for big things, and eclipses will also be there. So let us see how the ascendants fare with this transit. As it is Mangal, Shani Mangal, whenever they are in conjunction, aspecting each other, or in Kendra, they are major planets, because the Sun can be the king and may not go into literal war with Saturn, because it is a war of the principalistic war. But Mars is not that. Mars is a commander. It takes on Saturn. Saturn is a very cold and slow planet. Mars is equally hot and equally fast moving, result giving planet. So when these two come in contact, whether in conjunction or whether in a horoscope, it's a mighty thing to watch out for. Let's see. That's why in a horoscope, whenever we see Mars Saturn conjunction, these people are never die attitude. They are go-getters, especially if it happens in a Kendra. It can happen like Mars is in the 10th, Saturn is in the Lagna. So Mars is aspecting Saturn, Saturn is aspecting Mars, or Parivartana Yoga, or two having together in the same house or aspecting each other. Yeah, very strong yoga in a horoscope for never die attitude. Such people are always raring to go after a lot of failures also. That is Saturn and Mars for you. So let's see how every ascendant will keep their journey ahead in the month of March. Pisces ascendant, the month of March starts with Saturn being there in your 12th house and Venus making a move from Capricorn to Aquarius. Now, obviously Mars will be joining this 12th house of Aquarius. So lot of energy in the 12th houses. Obviously, if you are having some things related to the foreign, then it can get settled at this point of time, though not very easily, because whenever there is a Saturn Mars conjunction happening, some kind of tussle will happen. And understand that Venus is also your 8th lord. So when 8th lord goes into the 12th, some kind of sudden things can happen, and some kind of things that you have to let go, so that if you want something of the 12th house regarding your foreign things, or regarding your settlement abroad or something, or some kind of things of the 12th house, if you want, you have to let go of something and also put in efforts, because that is the 3rd lord also. So see, Mars is obviously a good planet for you, being the 2nd and the 9th lord, but in the 12th house with the Martian energy becomes very a little bit of turmoil happens with the 12th house, because 12th house is quite a seclusion, and here Saturn Mars can put a break on a lot of things, and expenses can happen because of certain unforeseen conditions, because Venus is also coming into the picture, and Venus is your 8th lord. Venus is not a good planet for you, though the conditions is that Venus works well in the 12th house. Maybe due to luxury purposes, you can become little extravagant. That can happen. So it is now Mars is the 2nd lord also. 2nd lord going into the 12th house can mean both expenses, and also can make you crack a deal for your income in the 12th house and abroad places. So these things can happen. Some health issues can happen at this point of time if you're running these kind of dasha antardashas. If you are running, so keep a check on your health, your sleep routine also, because that can also too much of energy into the, and that also so high level of malefics in the 12th house. Please keep a watch on your health, your expenses, your well-being. Somebody can ask, if somebody comes here to ask money, because Rahu is on the lagna and Mars will be slowly coming towards your lagna. So time is not very it is not a very easy time, and we do not know how the planets at what point of time they give what kind of result. Sometimes the result comes early, sometimes sudden result, sometimes it comes a little late, but this has to be kept in mind, because 12th Mars is not very good. Saturn can give you some kind of spiritual upliftment. Venus Saturn can also give you that, but when Mars come into it, because it is a tug of war between Saturn and Mars, so certain things related to the 12th house can move forward, and again it may seem that it is retracing backward. So overall, because Mars is aspecting your third house, Taurus house, your 3rd house also, and also Mars is looking at your 6th house, and 6th house is Leo. Lot of energies are in this Leo and Aquarius axis. So if you suddenly want to take loans, if that becomes a little more than what you actually can handle, such things should be kept in account, because the loan master Sun is also coming on the lagna after the 14th of March. So keep a tab on all these things. Health is very important. Monetary factor is very important. Should not lend money to people at this point of time. Take proper rest. Sleeplessness can happen. Some anxiety, some kind of restlessness within you can happen. These things are all characterized by these planets gearing up in the 12th house. So take care, Pisces ascendant, and let's see how this be a cautious approach. March month should be a cautious approach for you, and also following in the April month, because this conjunction of Saturn and Mars will continue for a long time till 22nd, 23rd of April. So keep a watch. Now, Aquarius ascendant, it is on your Lagna, and Saturn is your Lagna Lord, Mars is your 10th Lord and your 3rd Lord. So it is a lot of energy on the Lagna. Venus is your Yoga Karak, joining this conjunction. As far as Saturn Venus is concerned, when the first 10 days or 15 days of March, Sun is also in Aquarius, it is not very bad, it's okay. And but slowly, as Mars comes from the 12th house to your Lagna, because it is the 10th Lord also, it is the 3rd Lord, you have to put in more effort, more journeys coming up for you. The planets are not in an easy condition. You can feel lot of work pressure, responsibilities on you, because slowly Venus will move by end of this March. It will go into exaltation. That is good. In the 2nd house, Rahu Venus, your Yoga Karak planet with Rahu. But before that, the whole month of March will see a lot of issues with yourself. And because Lagna is the most important effect is happening on the Lagna, means self is getting most impacted in this transit. So again, care of health is very important. Such malefic planets, see, Venus is a very nice planet, and which is hardly it can keep up with such a big conjunction. It's a very big conjunction of Saturn Mars, because both are very important planets for you. It is the 10th Lord, it is the Lagna Lord. Both are equally strong and both are equally important in your horoscope. Obviously, new opportunities of work can come, which you may be tempted to follow, or this work can require a lot of travel, and a little bit of expenses can also happen. A lot of things you may have to juggle at the same point of time. And Mars, you want to push forward. The health of the partner is also very important, because this Aquarius Leo axis is getting activated too much. Leo is getting lot of aspects from Mars, from Rahu, from Mars, from Jupiter, from Saturn. Then Venus is also coming. So all this is happening in the month of March. So keep a very cool, level-headedness if possible. It is difficult. So big a conjunction on the Lagna, it's not easy to keep a calm, but you have to keep a calm. Otherwise, you will end up causing distress to yourself. Whenever the planets are marching towards giving a different kind of result, you know that the results are such huge planets. When they come across each other, when they're striking with each other, though the exact conjunction happens in April month, but the whole of March you will feel some kind of tension bogging you. That stress will gear up on the Lagna. And obviously some good things can also happen in progress, because Saturn Mars conjunction is such type of a conjunction. Firstly, it brings out the problems, because Mars want to go. Saturn says slow. So this is the process. It is like a tug of war happening, pulling back, going ahead. Keep calm. Things will not happen exactly the way you want. Understanding that, progress with the things slowly as Mars gives way to Saturn, and both separate in the conjunction. Mars passes over Saturn and then goes beyond that. Slowly things will turn out towards a little bit of betterment, but still you have to wait. You have to wait, because now Mars again faces Rahu in the next conjunction. Then it will go to in its 3rd house, in its own house, beginning a new journey. So March month is complicated. Venus can bring in some good news in the 1st house, in the 2nd house, but rest it's a very high heated up energy on the Lagna, and you can easily get irritated with such kind of arrangement or transit on the Lagna. So keep a watch on that. Capricorn ascendants, it is happening in your 2nd house. 2nd house is all about money. Here the monetary factor can be good, because see, Saturn is your Lagna Lord, Mars is your 11th Lord, Venus is your 10th Lord, fifth lord. So yoga karak, Venus is very good planet for you. Venus works very well in the second house also. So some kind of money matters can boost you. Maybe initially, because Mars will start its journey, it is on the Lagna, it is in dignity. As Mars move into your second house of Aquarius, that will happen by 16th of April, already Venus will be there. So Saturn, Venus being there, you can get some monetary boost. And then when Mars comes, you can easily, because it is a Labh Sthana coming into the second house. This is a good yoga that is happening actually monetary wise. If you have some stuck of money or something, it can progress in such. Obviously, it can happen that money can also be, used in some other purposes. That can also happen, but usually it is a savings house, so it should be good. With Saturn Mars over there, you can suddenly feel very materialistic. You can feel, yes, I want to increase my income or save my things, and you can have a realistic value about your second house things. But when Venus is there, it's still okay. Venus in the Aquarius, it slowly moves out of Aquarius by the end of March. Now, and whether Venus is there or not, Saturn and Mars, when they're together in a house, it can create conflict among the people, that is your family. So there, because the living factors of the house gets very much affected with such a huge conjunction happening. You can feel that your own people are sometimes not giving you the kind of response you need. They may sometimes go, you may feel there is some kind of rejection, if at all. These things do happen when Shani Mangal, because that kind of energy is a very clashing energy, raw energy, very high energy, which is not very conducive for the second house. The second house is not that kind of a house to go along with such energies. So the sweetness of the relationships can get sour. So don't expect much. Look on your monetary factors. Good time for savings. Good time for practically understanding your savings. If you want to take it somewhere, build it up, whatever. So if it's good, if you are doing something with your speech, if you have some kind of, if you are in some kind of a job where speech is important, then this conjunction can be good. It is a motivational conjunction in your second house, and Venus will add glory to it as much as it can, because it is your yoga karak planet. Some amount of luck factor it can bring, and also 10th lord going into the second house. So from the job you can also benefit from, because 10th, the second is a fifth house. So these things can happen. Certain good things can happen regarding the second house, but understand that Mars and Saturn both are aspecting your Leo house, which is the 8th house, and 8th house is these are sudden houses, so be very careful. A lot of energy. Jupiter is aspecting the 8th, Saturn is aspecting 8th, Mars is aspecting 8th, Venus is aspecting 8th. So 8th house, this Leo and Aquarius axis, your second and 8th axis is getting lot of energy. So second house is good, but 8th house is about something going away from you. Some things that needs to go away from you. Maybe you were not able to get rid of it for a long time, and the time required you to let go of those things. Such things can happen, or certain realizations can happen with the process. So go along with it. Now comes after Capricorn is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this conjunction is happening in your third house, the Saturn-Mars conjunction in the month of March. Your third house energy with Mars and Saturn is not bad, but see, both are malefic and Upachya house, so it is good. but first and foremost, it is good, not bad. Second is that now Venus is your 6th lord and your 11th lord. It comes into the 3rd house. Mars is your 12th and 5th lord. Mars is a good planet for you, and Saturn is your 2nd and 3rd lord. So this conjunction happening can give a lot of mixed result. Like if at all you're getting a change of place due to some job or some daily life activities, some change in place is needed, it can happen. You can change your neighborhood, you can go for a new place, many journeys can happen, you can have to travel due to your profits, due to your daily routine, that can happen. You can incur some expenses in that travel. And also something with your younger siblings can go for a toss, though Venus is there, but Venus is also not a very good planet for you. It is the 6th lord, the conflict lord, also the 11th lord. Now here all the planets together creates such an energy that the 3rd house is better if you put it into your activities, your hobbies or something, because this is an energy which needs to be released, not kept intact. Otherwise it flares up on your face. You can want to make some decisions, some efforts in the right direction, that can happen, but it will happen in a slow process, because whenever Mars want to go get and do something immediately, Saturn puts a brake. Saturn will always tell to wait and make a plan and then process it. It will not give away easily, but it's a good time to understand that certain decisions, if you need to take, you need to take. If you are communicating, if you're in sales and marketing communication, go a little slow. Don't push things too much, because 3rd house is all about this writing, editing, communication, sales, marketing, advertising, outdoor activities. Do them, be a little cautious, put your energy out, but in a way so that it does not feel too irritated and forceful to the person that is going with you, because some irritation will definitely set in. That combination is like that. It's a fierce, it's a very high-end combination, very full of friction, because Saturn very cold, Mars very hot. Its friction is very high in this combination. So go along with it. It's not a bad combination for you, but Venus also peeps in over here. And so maintain the relationship with your people around you, your siblings, if they are, maintain a good, in the journeys also, if you're going for short distance journeys, take some care, because Saturn Mars can give sudden disruptions also. These things happen with Saturn Mars. Otherwise 3rd house is an active house, and Saturn Mars does not do bad over here. It is Upachya houses, malefic planets are good, not bad. So can be a progress oriented month. You wanted to take certain decisions and steps, go ahead with it, slow but steady. Then Scorpio. Scorpio, it is happening in the 4th house. No, this is not at all a wanted place for neither Mars nor Saturn, because these two planets work very good in the 10th house, not in the 4th house. Mars gets debilitated originally in Cancer in the 4th house, and neither Saturn is good in the 4th house. It can give a heavy heart, first and foremost. So put your concentration into the 10th house, because the 10th house will receive the aspect of Mars, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter. All the planets will be aspecting your 10th house of Leo. Put the attention over there. Put the energy over there, because if you stay back at home, or if you delve too much into your 4th house matter, property related things can click. If you want to sell a thing, if you want to buy, then go slowly ahead, because Saturn is in dignity, and Mars in the 4th house, property, car, these things, the non-living factors, it can give a boost if you at all wanted to buy. And also Venus is coming in. So Venus is your 12th and the 7th lord. So your wife can also come in between in the deal, because obviously if it's a property related matter, your partner can take a stand with you in these matters. So that you can go ahead with, but slow and steady. Saturn and Mars, such a combination, it is always better to approach in a slow and steady manner. That kind of a combination this is. Otherwise it flares up on the face. It actually flashes, it goes in a very wrong direction otherwise, because Saturn will not let Mars do the things it wants to do as fast, because it's your Lagna lord also and your sixth lord also, understand that. But the houses of Saturn, here the discipline of Saturn will work, here the rules of Saturn will work more. That is important to understand. Now some expenses can be seen in the home front, because the 12th lord Venus is also adding to it. But see, Venus is such a soft and nice planet in this combination. That's why I'm talking about the clash of these two major planets. That is all, that immediately in the from beginning of the Mars only, that effect will start coming in, because this is such huge transit, cannot be missed. Every 2 years it happens, but it happens with full force, and certain giveaway will be there from this transit, 100%. So your Lagna lord, very important for you. This transit is very, very important, because it is your Lagna lord that is going to have a conjunction with Saturn in the 4th house. You can feel certain emotions which are flaring up within you. You have to let go of these emotions, because don't build it up. It'll give to a lot of irritation, lot of overthinking, lot of unnecessary drama, bickering, lot of things can happen. This is a very frictional combination in the 4th house. 4th house is not an area for these two planets at all. They are rough planets. They are meant for the 10th house, and the 4th house is just the opposite nourishment house, the best sweet house in the horoscope. So these planets does not at all go with the 4th house. You have to understand that. But put your energy into the 10th house, because 10th house is having a lot of aspect, and this will give you a major energy, drained off to the 10th house, to your work professional area. Don't sit home and sulk. This is a sulking combination also. The heart can feel very heavy. Go out and do something which brings a little bit of lightheadedness in you. So it is challenging, no doubt about it, because when Lagna lord goes with Saturn in the 4th house, it is a challenging combination. And because your Mars Lagna lord, in slowly it will move into the with Rahu also in the 5th house. So that's another chapter. But as of now, handle this. It is a changing time. Times are changing for you, because wherever the Saturn is in 4th already, it's a Kantakshani, and it is trying to change the environment of your 4th house. Certain changes will be there, and Mars will augur those changes. It will bring in those changes, but it cannot be fast change. These are slow changes. It will happen slowly with time. Wait and go with the change slowly and surely. That's the thing. Well, this conjunction is happening in the 5th house of Aquarius, Saturn and Mars, in the month of March, with also Venus, your Lagna lord. So your Lagna lord first will make a conjunction with Saturn nearly the whole month of March. That will be a good conjunction, but in the process Mars also comes in, and Mars is your 2nd and 7th lord. It is an important planet for you, and the thing is that maybe the 5th house matters will be too much in focus. That can happen, because see, you yourself and your partner both are coming together with Saturn, that is your 5th lord itself. So here the progeny related matters can happen. If you're having a childbirth or some kind of the process that can go well, but because very high malefics are happening, the Saturn is in its own house, but Mars is a very high malefic planet in the 5th house. So you have to go with caution regarding the matters of the 5th house. If you are some kind of a recognition you had been waiting for, the thing can happen. Some kind of favor if you had been waiting for. Sudden changes in your professional area can also happen. Money related things by luck, or you can spend some money for your kids, some kind of education or something. Only problem with this conjunction is that it's such a volatile and high-end conjunction that Saturn Mars in the house, fifth house, the Purva Punya house, can at sometimes be little rough. Because if there is love related matters, which is also a love house, because the fifth house is about your love and affection, about people, and about your love affairs, if you at all have one, can face certain tussle, forward and backward movement, some things that can disturb your mind, that can happen. These things can happen, but if you had been waiting for a time where you get your good some kind of a certification, some kind of good luck, these things, though Mars is a malefic, that is there. Mars is your maraka, because it is having the lordship of the second and the seventh house, but still it is a mixed kind of a result that you'll get, because the month of March will have the Lagna Lord also over there. So some kind of partnership is seen with the seventh and the Lagna Lord over there, and monetary factors also comes into the area. Also, Mars being there can create some friction, because it creates some hot-headedness, it creates some stubbornness in those relationships, maybe with the partner, maybe with love affairs, maybe with progeny. These things can happen. All in all, it's a mixed result actually in the fifth house. Not very good conjunction, but neither very bad, because obviously Lagna Lord in the fifth with the fifth Lord is not a bad conjunction. Now Mars is slowly Venus will be first moving into the fifth house from your fourth, and it will first make a conjunction with Saturn. You can feel some impediments can happen, and also you can find some good times also, because a fifth Lord is there in the fifth house. These things can happen. Some change in the workplace can also happen, because it is eighth from your 10th house. So certain changes in the work front can happen definitely in this conjunction, because it is the eighth house matters. So any house, because from the 10th it is the 8th, the 8th house from any house brings certain changes to that house. That can be also felt, because after this Mars will move into your 6th house, that is your daily jobs, and with Rahu over there. So these things can slowly gear up. So it's a mixed month and it's not bad, but keep calm, because fifth house is about your intelligence. Don't go very fast with it. Don't take quick decisions, because the Leo and the Aquarius axis, the 5th, 11th axis, lot of planets are aspecting your desire house, the 11th house, and Sun is at this time, Sun will be in your, the 11th Lord will be in your 6th house. So maybe your some desire can get fulfilled. You can feel that you want to achieve something which you are desiring for a long time, but understand that the 11th Lord is 6th from the 8th from itself. So having all these combinations going on, take a little slow approach. And any time whenever Mars and Saturn is together, a fast approach is not required. Should go slowly, thinking, and then progressing towards that. So that way it is better, because see here, if you are wanting for a love marriage also to happen, because slowly that can come into fruition, but before that, this kind of combination creates some hindrances also. 5th Lord with the 7th Lord in the 5th house, but it is a very high malefic combination. Always keep that in mind. Slowly things can be trodden with lot of patience. That is important, if at all you're going through such kind of a scenario. Okay, then I come to Virgo ascendants. Virgo people, this is happening in your sixth house. This combination I find is better in the Upachya houses. Sixth house with Saturn, Mars, housing Saturn and Mars is a good transit. I mean, it is, it can, if at all, if you're going through law cases or something, then it's a problem. You can feel you're stuck for time immemorial because, see, Mars is a very quite a malefic planet for you, eighth and the third lord. So it can create some disruptions in the sixth house, as Saturn gives a very disciplined and very calculated approach in the sixth house, how to deal with the matters of the sixth house. Mars, whenever it comes, it has a very high voltage energy, and for you Virgo Lagna, it is not a good planet. So understanding that, you must take more caution in as far as this transit is concerned. So go slow, and you will feel lot of work gearing up in your daily life. So go with the work, take your time, process it and move ahead. If you want to take loan, don't be in a hurry. This combination is not for hurrying. If you have a courtship, some kind of court lawsuit going on, don't be in a hurry, because eighth lord in the sixth, however says it is a good thing and all, but whatever, the transit is a very volatile transit. And also Venus, your second lord, and your ninth lord is coming with it. So the Bhagya lord in the sixth house, second lord in the sixth house, so it is not very good combination along with these two malefics going on. So keep a watch for you. Especially important is that you don't create enemies in your surroundings, because this is your daily work area also. Rogrin Shatru, your Prarabdha house also. So that many planets and very high malefic planets sitting over now transiting in that house can certain give flare up or certain activities you may do, because Leo is your 12th house from here. So the Aquarius Leo axis is very highly active at this point of time, and this conjunction is continuing till the end of April, 23rd of April, and the whole of March also nearly, because it will come in by 15th of March. Mars will come. Before that, Venus will come. So these things should be kept in mind while processing whatever you are wanting to do in your daily life. Be careful with, if you have some kind of a disease and you want to, go for a treatment, do it, because otherwise the 12th house is becoming very active. Certain high expenditures or certain unnecessary, seclusion or getting into the bedridden thing, something like that. If at all you are going through any kind of a health problem, keep a check on that. If you are taking a loan or you want to take or disburse, keep a check on that. Keep correct the papers and everything, and keep a tab on the people surrounding you, because Mars is again and again, Mars is not a good planet for the Virgo people. It can create unnecessary stir, unnecessary tension, unnecessary enmity with people around you. So look into this conjunction. It is a cautious, very, very cautious progress. Otherwise, if you put in effort slowly and steadily, this can give way slowly. It can, but understand that Mars will again come into your 7th house also and make a conjunction with Rahu. So this is not a very, a very good time to take chances. Not like that. Go slowly. Very important with such conjunction. Very energetic. You'll feel to do certain. Mars in the 6th house gives that kind of an energy, but Saturn will pull you back 2 steps. So take a cautious approach, take a very matured approach, so that things go and process well. Then comes Leo. Leo, this is happening in the 7th house. This needs a lot of attention. Highly malefic planet Saturn sitting in its own sign though, and your Yoga-karak planet though Mars, but Mars energy is not wanted in the 7th house first and foremost. So here your approach should be very cautious with your partnerships and partners, because see, you are under high energy now. all like 4 planets are aspecting your lagna: Mars, Saturn, Venus, and also Jupiter. Venus is coming into Aquarius, I think 6th of April, sorry, March, or 5th of March, like that, and it will start its journey with Saturn already there in Aquarius. Now your 10th lord coming into the 10th and 3rd lord coming into the 7th house. This is not a bad place, because 7th house is a good house for Venus. You can get some good feeling with your partner, some good quality time, but Saturn is also there. Things will be practical, not highly romantic. And now when Mars energy influx is there, it is like turbulence going on in the 7th house, and so many planets aspecting a lagna. You can feel suddenly very charged up and you want to do something. You may feel immediately you have to go for it, but go slowly, because with such conjunctions, no, certain strife will happen definitely, and it is like a friction, sudden friction. So keep quiet most of the time. Don't talk too much. Listen more, say less. Your status can get elevated due to whatever things. If you can handle this energy well, which is very difficult, but if you can, 7th house is a house of status, and Mars is your yoga karak. You have to understand. But now the transit of Mars is such, it's a very good planet for you, but 7th house, 8th house Mars is not good. And making conjunction with Saturn and Rahu is equally not wanted. But if the energy, and especially if you're running Saturn Dasha, Mars Antar, or Mars Venus, or Mars Rahu, because Sun is also going into the 8th house by 14th of March. So the energies are such that keep things within. Don't attempt things fast. Lot of energy, you will feel that you are stuck with lot of energy. You want to push it forward. Don't do that. Go slow. It's irritating. Yes, it is. That is how the Shani Mangal combination is. It is irritating to go slow, but that is the need of the day. That has to be done. So better go with the energy, so that major disruptions do not happen with the 7th house matters. Because Mars will be also aspecting your 10th house, and your 10th lord is already there with Mars in the whole month of March. So this is Mars is aspecting your lagna, your 2nd house. It is good. The aspects are not bad, but the transit is equally disturbing. And if a marriage is not in a good condition, or a partnership, business partnership, whatever, is not in a good condition, then it may happen that separative tendencies or sudden break can happen, because these situations, the planets always gear up to give certain kind of result. But if it's a good partnership, nothing to worry much about. Just keep calm and go with the order of the day, and things will be resolved in the coming months. So have a good time, Leo. Lot of energy on the lagna. Your lagna and 7th house is fully activated at this point of time. So go ahead, but slow and steady wins the race. It is happening in the 8th house. Saturn and Mars. Mars is a very good planet for you, the 5th lord and the 10th lord. Saturn is the 7th and the 8th lord. Now, such a big conjunction in the 8th house, and with Venus also being there, it's not an easy, because Venus is also your 4th lord. And so 4th and 11th house lord coming into the 8th, with the 8th lord and with your 5th lord. See, 8th house is all sudden changes, and sudden changes can happen in the home front, in yourself, because you are from where the 8th house is, and also obviously because Mars is there, and Saturn is aspecting your 10th house. In the 10th area, the 10th lord house is aspected by Saturn. These changes can happen in this area. Now, the changes may not be immediately good to have. After a certain point of time, it can feel that something has cleared away, because 8th house, the way the 8th house things pan out is that first you need to give away something, then only some better things will come to you. That is how the 8th house works. Now, because Mars over here is quite volatile in the eighth house, and Saturn is slowly decays the process in the eighth house. So Venus is also there. Venus is also a important planet with the fourth lordship of Venus. So some because see, your fourth and 10th lord is activated in the eighth house. So something related to your workplace and home can go for a different kind of a change, because the eighth lord is sitting with these two planets in the eighth house. You can have to change something, maybe either in the professional area or in the fourth area, so that a new thing is generated. And these planets are aspecting your second house of money matters. And Venus is also a money planet for you, because it is the 11th lord also. So this Leo Aquarius axis is highly activated at this point of time, your second and eighth house. So the combinations are a little, that's what I was telling, it's a volatile and tug of war kind of a situation. You can feel sometimes very at edge what to do with the things in hand. That kind of a situation can happen. Wait for the things and don't be in a hurry to jump into things. These are such kind of transit. You have to slowly go ahead with the transit. You cannot hurry with it. It demands your time and patience. And eighth house matters is always, it is not bad, but at the beginning, such matters are not easy to deal with. So let it pan out slowly. Don't panic, and don't feel, you are, something is lost, that you have to go to certain things like that. It is, it may seem bad at some point, at this moment. Once Mars, because Mars is very important planet for you, when it goes into the ninth house, also some disruptions with Rahu it can create, but slowly it will move into the 10th house later in the month of May, June. Then you will start getting the better results. But if at all now you are having this kind of dasha antardasha, and if you are feeling some health problems also, some caution should be going with this kind of a transit. You have to have some cautious approach, because this is a very volatile transit for all. But the house that it is happening in your horoscope is not easy to see, because eighth house matters. We cannot envisage what actually, in what way it will pan out. Very difficult to understand that. So keep watch on your actions. Be slow, be cautious, take care of your health, because it is happening 8 to the Lagna. So obviously, maybe you want some things to dissolve and some new things to take its place. That can happen. Whatever, but yes, any giveaway is not easy. Understand that, and then go ahead in your journey. That is what the transit is here for you to understand, if at all. But obviously, if you're not running these dashas, then the transit will not be that intense, but it can feel a little irritated with such transits, and on quite edgy at times. Those things can happen. Next, Gemini ascendants. Gemini, you are having this transit in the ninth house. Ninth house is a very, dharma, house of dharma. And to house these two planets over there, it's a little difficult energy for the ninth house, because Saturn and Mars, they are not, ninth house is good with Moon, Jupiter, Venus, these kind of planets. But Saturn and Mars is very different planet for the ninth house. Now, obviously, if you want to get into higher education, things can slowly progress towards that direction, because Gemini ascendants, you're having Venus also coming into this house, and Venus is your 12th lord and your 5th lord. So fifth lord coming into the ninth house is good. This is a good transit for Venus. So Venus, when it comes into the ninth house, then it will go into the 10th house by the end of March. There is a good transit. But Saturn and Mars, if you want to go for long distance journey or some kind of other things related to ninth house, or travel short long, because Leo is in the third house axis and ninth house you have Aquarius. This axis is very active at this point of time. And so if you are going for short distance travel, long distance travel, be cautious. Check your things that you are carrying with yourself, and don't be in a rush to make some sudden decisions, because Leo is getting aspect of Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Saturn. Be cautious in your approach towards taking a decision. But here Venus, your fifth lord, is also joining. So any higher education matters, long distance journey matters, putting your visa papers, going for a pilgrimage, your father's health should be taken care of. These things are very prominent in the ninth house. Slowly Mars, Venus will be moving into the 10th house. That will be a better transit. Rahu is already there in the 10th, so quite an active phase. It is only that these two energies, because it's a very fireball of energy with a very cold planet, these two energies do not match with the ninth house. That's the only thing. You can feel certain tensions. It can happen, but it will push you. Maybe you can, certain steps you are taking towards or some efforts you're putting, that will immediately not show results. But understand that Saturn Mars combination is such that you have to sometimes double the efforts, or you have to patiently wait for the results to come. And because Venus, your fifth lord, is in the ninth, it is good transit, and then it will go into the 10th also by 31st of March. That will be in its exaltation. So good times are there, but little bit with caution you have to go, with a slow and steady approach you have to take when this transit is concerned, because ninth house is a very dharma, fortune, religious house, higher learning house. Saturn, Mars do not, they are not the planets which energy does not match with this house. But nonetheless, the transit will move you forward, because after that, after completing its journey of Mars, if you're running at all a Mars dasha, antardasha, something with Saturn or Venus, something in this combination, you are going towards the 10th house. Results will be found. It will happen. A Taurus ascendant, 10th house, Mars, Saturn. This is a good combination for the 10th house. Saturn does well and Mars also gets exalted in the 10th house. This is actually this energy is required for the 10th house, but it is your 12th lord also. Mars is your 7th and 12th lord. So maybe you're working too hard. You can have some sleepless nights. Your partner can help you in some in the projects. Venus, your Lagna lord, is joining here in the first week of March in the 10th house in Aquarius. This is a good transit for you. It should bring in some distinctions, some recognition, some good results, some good progress ahead, because maybe you had been waiting for certain results. The Lagna lord, when it comes into the 10th, though Venus is not very good in the 10th house, but it's okay. It can give you some prominent things ahead, as it will also go into the 11th house of Pisces, and in its exaltation meet with Rahu over there. So it is a productive transit. Go with the transit, work hard. It is the time to show discipline and good work, hard work from your end, so that the results are met. Because when you have the time, that the time is good and you want to get your projects done, then this is the time. This is how we should use the transits in astrology, so that we get the best results out of them. But again, this is not a transit where you can rush in things. It will not happen, because it's Saturn's house where Mars is coming. Though Mars is very good in the 10th house, but after all, Mars has to work slowly over here. Some friction can be created. Be on the lookout in the professional area. Don't get too much edgy with people. This transit is such, it's the clash of two big energies, no, it can create such tensions at times. So go along with it, don't fight out, take time, be cool, get your work done and progress. It's a progressive transit, which is very important. Last, I come to Aries ascendant. Your Lagna Lord is making a conjunction with the 11th Lord Saturn in the 11th house. Now here, 11th house matters like networkings and gains and all these can be your focus, because Mars is also aspecting your second house, Taurus, and also your 5th house and also your 6th house. So only thing about the 11th house is that though it is a Upachya house and it houses Saturn and Mars well, but Saturn, as you know, does not give away things quickly. If you were having some breaks in the, whatever desires or gains you had been waiting for, Mars can put gear forward to it. That can happen because Lagna Lord in the 11th is usually good. But then the gains are not easily available because the energy is such. Along with it, you have the 2nd and the 7th Lord Venus also coming into the transit. So gains can happen. Lagna Lord, 2nd Lord, 11th Lord, it's a good transit actually. But it is a clash of two big energies, and so go with a little bit of patience is required. Sudden things will not happen. Mars energy is such, it wants to do like that, sudden gains, sudden profits, sudden networks. Otherwise it will create a friction in the networking area. Otherwise unnecessary tensions will be created because Saturn will not allow that fast forwardness of Mars. And understand that slowly the Lagna Lord is forwarding towards the 12th house, not this month but end of April, but still the energy is such. So make the best use of it. If some gains were to come, collect it slowly and go with the process, because once Lagna Lord goes into the 12th house with Rahu, that's a very different energy. So this is where you have to make the best utilization, because it is a good transit. It is a Dhana Yoga also, 2nd Lord in 11th with the 11th Lord and with the Lagna Lord. It's a good transit, and in the transit you can fruitfully use this transit, especially if you're running Dasha Dasha of these 3 planets, even more useful. Be a little patient with your progeny or with your love affairs, because 5th house is also getting aspect of all these planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus. A lot of planets are aspecting your 5th house. So Leo Aquarius axis is very active in this March month. So go slow, get your things done, earn your profits, get your desires fulfilled, but not in a hurry, because this is how this transit should be dealt with. If you do hurry, you will create irritation for yourself. That's the thing. So this is what I had for you, Aries. It's a nice time. Go ahead with it. And next week, I'll come up with another video. Till then, you keep well. Bye. Have a good time.